we've had several big breakthroughs. I think the very first breakthrough, as we covered, was embracing fearlessness with marketing. And then a second breakthrough was developing a process to help clients navigate all of their assets as opposed to just being product focused. And what the whole exercise with Chris Smith brought under the microscope was the breakthrough concerning messaging. Like, what are you really doing here? What is the fruits of working through your process or with your firm specifically? Because clients, of course, have other options. So, I get, of course, like a little bit famous for my rants, as Jess already kind of like alluded to. And so I was just riffing that, well, no, I don't want to be known for the guy that just strictly diversifies your stuff or gets you a better rate of return, or maybe even helps you save money on your taxes, because those things are helpful, but they're not the end result that people are looking for. Most people have jobs that they don't like, that they want to get out from, or they're stuck in traffic and they don't want to do it anymore. They don't see their kids or grandkids enough. They're not like hitting their bucket list items. And so I've always felt, and I guess we were stymied in expressing that that's what we wanted people to know about us, that made us different, that we were going to spend, in a lot of cases, way more time talking to clients about life than their money. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that, the first initial talk with Chris initiated is, I remember going into the boardroom, and I gathered who was on our team at the time around, and I got up on the whiteboard and I put a line right down the middle. And on the left side, I was like, guys, let's talk for a second. What do we do for clients? What is the impact that, that clients experience in working with us as opposed to other people? And, already there's a lot of energy around that. It was like, we get people sometimes retired well ahead of when they thought was possible, or they're able to do more or spend more than they thought that they could. They feel more relaxed. They know that there's a team in their corner. All this like great, positive, impactful stuff. And then on the right side, I was like, okay, guys, what does it say on our website that we do? And it was like portfolio management, tax planning, like all this dry
diversification
stuff that literally every other financial advisor website says. And I was like, so we do all this wonderful stuff, but we don't tell anybody about it. So Chris kind of pushed us to embrace that messaging. And at first, I think we were really, really afraid, because when we saw the first prototype of, the new messaging, especially on the website, I was like, Chris, this looks like a travel agent's website. Like, I think people are going to be confused. Like when they visit us,
here?
There's like no mention of like money or like anything. And he was just like, I think it was one of those trust me moments, which, we've been on that precipice several times. And so we said, okay, let's take a plunge. And that was an enormous breakthrough, really, because I think people are thirsty for this stuff. The world is so negative. I say to people a lot, you've got this little device in your pocket or on your wrist that reminds you constantly through social media how negative and terrible the world is, and how like all your neighbors and like inner circle friends and family have a different opinion than you. And people are just angry. They're down and out. They're often very bleak in terms of how like they feel about the present and the future. And so, what we're trying to do by our messaging is be like this oasis of positivity, in this desert of negativity, where if you believe that we still live in an amazing country and it's a blessing to be alive, and you've been working hard and saving for a future that you want to enjoy, you want to come talk to this team that's going to like relentlessly push and coach and challenge you to embrace all that and put all that other noise to the background. So that's what that process did for us. And it's like probably the thing that I'm most proud that we've developed as a firm here.